Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. What I'm talking about today, sellers, I actually just discovered this. I said, let's go live and share this with my seller friends. Is I discovered one thing. Literally, it is one click, one click that can get you more sales. And it is one click that you can do whether you have an eBay store or you don't have an eBay store. So come on in. And as you get settled, I'm going to tell you all about it. So what got me going on this was oftentimes when people come to me to work with me, besides being an eBay seller, I'm an eBay coach. And if you ever want to work with me, you can hop over to my website. Let me just share my screen and I will show it to you. So here on my website, if you look up at the top, you'll see business consultation. Just click it and you can book time with me. I work with sellers every week on their account. So feel free to do that. So different consultations I have this week. And typically sellers will come to me because they're looking for more sales. And I work with them to strategize how to get more sales. And I look at their listings and analyze it. If they have an eBay store, we're breaking down their store. I mean, there are a couple of different tactics that I work on with sellers depending on what items they're selling. So I'm always on the eBay site and I check on mobile. I'm looking for my phone. Oh, here it is. I check on mobile as well as checking on desktop because certain things are more visible one place than another. To see, because there are things that change on eBay. So there's things that can change that can help you to get more sales. So typically when you're looking to get more sales, there's two main strategies. I mean, you can sort of filter within them, but there's two main strategies to get you more eBay sales that work, that aren't magic pills. They have data behind them. They work. One is to increase your listings. It's very, very simple. If I get a certain amount of listings, let's say I have 40 listings up or 50 listings up or 80 or 100 or 200 or 2,000. And let's say I have 500 listings up or 1,000 and I get a certain amount of sales. Let's say I get 5 a day or 10 a day or 15 a day, whatever it is. And I'm looking to get 10% more, 15% more, 20% more. A very simple rule of thumb is increase your listings. So if I have 1,000 listings up and I want to see a 10% increase in sales, I increase my listings by 100, 200, that kind of thing. It sounds like, oh, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do it. So I want to increase my sales. I increase my listings. Now, obviously, you're selling things that are in demand, so I'm doing research. I'm selling things that are priced right, so I'm doing research, right? And I'm writing a good listing. And if you hop on my YouTube channel, I've got plenty of YouTubes to help you with an optimized listing. So that's one way to get more sales, increase the listings, okay? And again, if I'm looking to increase 10%, I increase it by 10%, 20, 30, and you can do the math, okay? This is particularly helpful for people that do have a great deal of unlisted inventory. Is by listing more, they get more sales. Now, that being said, again, because I'm working with a lot of different sellers, sometimes what's happened, and this typically will happen for my newer sellers, but some of us that have been selling for a while can fall into this trap too, is you have inventory, either you've inherited or you bought it or you listened to somebody and you have a certain amount of inventory and you really haven't researched it. And the items that you have really aren't worth your while to list because you're just not going to make that much money or they're really not worth anything. You just sort of looked at it, it looked good, or you listen to a YouTube, but sadly the YouTube is outdated. You know, it's 3 or 4 years old and the products that they're recommending are no longer popular on eBay because that can happen. You know, trends happen. So sometimes, yes, you might have a lot of unlisted inventory and you're listening to me and you go, oh, you know, if I list it, then my sales will go up. Not if you're not selling things that are in demand. So as you're listing, always spot check and make sure it's in demand. And if it's not, if you're really not going to make that much money, it may be painful, but you're really better off to bag it, to donate it. You can put it into lots. Sometimes that'll work. You know, if you're not going to make that much money on the item, you know, bundle it into lots. but just think it through whether it's really worth listing. Because again, just to list it for the sake of listing it, no, your sales aren't going to go up. You got to be listing things that are in demand. The second strategy, and this is one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but it is one I talk about quite a bit, is that you increase your sell-through rate. Okay. So, and this is where sometimes I get frustrated when people say, well, I heard that so-and-so said if I have 80 listings up, I'll make X amount of money. Or if I have 200 listings up, I'll make X amount of money. Or I can be a full-time seller if I have, I'm just going to pull numbers out of the air, 500 listings up. But it's your sell-through rate. Because I have had sellers come to me, and it's incredibly frustrating for them when they do. I've had sellers come to me with thousands of listings. I mean, thousands of listings up, but they're only getting a few sales a day. So you can have a lot of listings, but if there's issues with those listings, no, you're not automatically going to see sales just because you have listings up. Okay. So then you look at your sell-through rate. Now, I bring this up because you can have 500 listings up, or 400 listings up, or 200 listings up, or 100 or less, or 500 or 1,000, but your sell-through rate is really good. And this is what the one-click tip is about. Your sell-through rate is how quickly the item sells. If you have, I'm going to pick a lower number. Let's say you have 50 listings up or 100, but you have a really good sell-through rate. So maybe you only have 50 listings up, but you're getting a couple of sales a day. That's really good for 50 listings. Maybe you have 100 listings up and you're getting 10 or 15 sales a week, or maybe 20 sales a week. That means you'll sell through all that inventory pretty fast. You better keep listing. You better keep sourcing. So one way to increase your sales, yes, increase the listings of things that are desirable and optimize listings. But the other thing is increase the sell-through rate, how fast the items sell. If I'm a clothing seller and my items typically sell in, let's say, 4 months, if I can make that 3 months, that's huge. That means that money is going back into your pocket that much faster. This works regardless of your category. So even if you're selling what is called a long tail item, and a long tail item are typically more your vintage collectible items. They're more unusual. They take longer to sell. That's why it's called long tail. They'll take a year, year and a half, 2 years. Whew. I've heard of some sellers, very patient sellers, 4 years. I'm like, oh my goodness, but they have a lot of room to store things, and they're getting things very inexpensively, and they don't mind waiting for 4 years. I'm not that patient. I like things to sell faster. So you need to know your temperament too. But even with a long tail item, I've got a hair in my eye, even with a long tail item is, let's say you typically sell in a year and a half or 2 years, which is common with vintage and collectibles. Well, could I get that more like a year? Are there things that I can do with the listing to help it to sell faster? And so this is what I wanted to bring up with my one-click tip. So this one-click works with items that sell quicker. They typically sell within a month or two, because again, you might think, oh, to get something sold in 3 months, that's like great. And it is. But if you could get it sold in 2 months or 1 month, and if typically an item sits for 6 months and you can get it sold in 5 or 4, remember, money back in pocket. That's sell-through rate. That's income. You're going out and buying more inventory, perhaps with some of it, but it's money for bills. It's money for you. So increase your sell-through rate, increases your profitability in your business. So it's not just a numbers game. It's not just how many listings I have up, because you can have a lot of listings up. It's not a lot of fun, and you're just not getting sales. Okay. So it's not just how many are listed. Because again, sometimes you'll be in certain groups and people will be saying, oh, I've got 1,000 up. I've got 3,000 up. I've got 2,000 up. That's great. But how many are you selling? Right? It's like, but how's it selling? So this is what I want to show you. I did And you know, I typically love to search LL Bean flannel shirts because my husband buys them. And I said, let me search something else. And that's where I found this one-click thing. I said, boy, from now on, I'm going to be searching a bigger variety of things when I do examples. I searched teddy bear plush just because it's such a common item and I wanted to search a non-clothing item. So please do this in any general category that you sell in. So, you know, search plush, search vases, search bookends, search puzzles, whatever. But I just searched teddy bear plush, no period, no nothing. I just wanted to get sort of an idea of what was going on with teddy bears. And so first of all, there's a lot of teddy bears on eBay. 45,000. Okay. A lot of teddy bears. But that makes it a really good one to look at because remember, again, we're studying how can I increase my sell-through rate. So I want to increase my sell-through rate in teddy bear plush because it's a popular category, right? This is the thing that is so interesting with teddy bear plush. So look at this. And I'm looking on a desktop, but there's going to be similar filters on your phone, okay, or your iPad. I just work on a desktop. Notice the filters on the top. And the reason you're looking at filters, because what we're focusing on is how to get this sold faster. eBay's going to do filters because that's what buyers are looking for. eBay doesn't do filters just for like, hey, let's do filters. They're doing filters because this is what buyers look for. Hi, Sharon, how are you? So look at the filters. They're going to help you in creating your listing. They'll also help you sourcing. So take a look at this. Under $14, 14 to 19, and over 19. So 3 price points, okay, for 45,000 teddy bear plush. So first thing I'm clicking is the under 14. And is it showing? Hang on a second. I just want to make sure it flips because if it doesn't, I'll have to do it. So under 14, it's then 14,000. So it's about a third, okay, or under $14, okay? You've also got to consider whether it's worth it to be selling something that inexpensive. Okay, so that's idea number one. So now I'm going to unclick the under 14 to get back to the big thing. And now we're back to 45,000. Let's look at the medium price teddy bears, $14 to $19. And medium price teddy bears, 11,000. So interesting. There's more of the less expensive than the medium price. Interesting. Okay. So that just lets me know price-wise, it's pretty evenly split. And it's also looking at that price range. So if I was close to, let's go back to, if I was close to $14, I would take a look at the ones under 14 and then over 14. My personal guess would be to go higher and to put a best offer on it, just to get a little more money, okay? But those are the 3 main searches on price, okay? Remember, we're doing very generic search. And the one click I'm going to show you, look on the left-hand side. This is showing you all the different big categories that teddy bear plush is in. Other stuffed animals, Gund, stuffed animals, dolls and teddy bears, and then baby essentials. Interesting, okay? Keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down. Over here on the left, size, color. Now this is interesting. So take a look at color. Brown, well over 10,000. So brown is the big color. But there's also white, pink, green, blue, red, black, multicolor, gray, and purple. So the predominant color is important. And if I have teddy bears or I source a lot of teddy bears or I do plush, I would definitely take a look at the colors and see if one color sells better than another color. So definitely take a look at that. If you have access to a lot of plush, if the area that you're in, the estate sales, the thrift stores, the retail stores have a lot of plush, a lot of toys, it's definitely worth checking out what colors, not just what's popular, right? Because we're working on sell-through rate, but what sells. Does pink sell better than white? Does brown sell better than white? Okay. Does black sell better than white? Take a look at which colors have the most in them and then the sell-through rate. But this is the one-click one. This is one that surprised me. So again, and it shows you all the numbers. So a lot of different, teddy bears. We've got the brands. I'm just doing that. We got ages, which is good too, in case there's any kind of age indication on your teddy bear. And then we've got new and used, and there's a lot of both. You've got over 40,000 new, and it's showing 97,000 used. And 934 not specified. So that tells me they didn't click the filter, and you don't want to do that. So when you're listing, always indicate the condition, new or used, okay? Because that means over 900 are not in the new or used filter, and that's not good. This is the one click that I wanted to show you. Hang on a second. So age, color. This is the one that was so interesting to me. Because for stuffed animals, it would be similar with puzzles, but lamps, a lot of different things. The size matters, right? Whether it's 6 inches or 10 inches or 12 inches. For lamps, this matters. For pillows, this matters. A lot of different things, especially with stuffed animals, is that there's a small, there's a medium, there's a large. And what's interesting with eBay with the plush, and this is the one click I wanted to show you. Look at this mini, and they're defining it. They're telling you what a mini is. Under 6 inches, 482. Small, 6 to 14 inches, over 17,000. So there's a lot of small. Medium, 9,000, 9,077. Large, 650. And then jumbo, really big, 104. This is the one that my mouth fell open. Not specified. 5,345. In one click, if you had a plush, all you got to do, where's my tape measure? I always have like 9 or 10 in it. It's an eBay tape measure too. Yay, eBay. Measure it. People search small teddy bear, right? They want to know the size because either they're a collector and it's going on a shelf. It's a gift. They're trying to match one they lost, right? That it might be really, really valuable and somehow it got trashed in a move. And it's like their treasured item from their childhood and they're coming back in and they want a 6 inch. They don't want a 10 inch. You lost the sale because you didn't measure. Okay. Literally in one click, you could be put into this filter, and there are over 5,000 plush teddies that when the person was listing it, they did not specify the size. Okay. 5,000. So you're looking at it, you're going, why isn't this selling? This is a really slow seller. Okay. And one of the reasons could be that I haven't fully filled out the item specifics. Now, what can happen when you're doing the item specifics and they're on your phone and they're also on the desktop, sometimes they change, okay? Because this will happen to me if a listing's been up over a year. I'll go in to look at it, or I'm with a client and I'm looking. I was actually doing this with a client the other week. We were looking at some really old listings. So the item specifics that either were required or offered, okay, because sometimes they're recommended, they're not required. And just because they're recommended, don't ignore them. Take a look at them, see if they work. Like size. Okay. It may not be required. I doubt it is, but all I got to do is pull out a tape measure and measure the teddy or measure the unicorn, right? Or measure the Minnie or the Mickey, whatever it is, the elephant, right? Is the frog. Measure it. Because then I show up in that filter and people do, again, because it was that treasured one, or it is for the shelf, or it's somebody that likes little, or it's somebody that likes big. You want to get the big jumbo one. And there's a difference between large and then the jumbo. And all you got to do is measure it. And over 5,000, and every category has one of these, okay? It's either the drop on the bag, okay? It's the width on the bag, on the bookends. It's the mug, okay? So when you're buying mugs, I, for one, this is one of my smaller mugs. I have a variety of mugs, but my morning coffee mug is big. I don't want an 8-ounce mug for my morning coffee. Minimum would be 10 ounces. It's just the way I am. I like a big mug for my morning coffee. Then afternoon, when I switch to tea, I go to a smaller mug. You take the mug, you fill it up with water, you take it, and then you dump it into a measuring cup. Now you know It's 10 ounces. It's 12 ounces. It's 14 ounces if it's not indicated on the cup. And it matters because you look at it on eBay and you go, it looks like it might be a 10 or a 12 ounce, but I don't want to guess. I want to know. So put the water in the cup, put it in the measuring cup. Take out your tape measures, measure it. I've got like 3 or 4 of these around my office. It's like, because I'm always losing tape measures. I don't know about you. It matters. Literally in one click for the plush bears. If you're one of that 5,000 unspecified, it means I am not showing in those filters when those people are searching for that, and you want to. So just spot check it again. Why? Because we're after sales. How do I get more sales? List more? Absolutely. But with some research, you don't just throw things up. And the other thing is to make sure that those searches that I'm going to show up in them. And 5,000 not showing up, that's a lot. If it was 1 or 2, you go, okay, it's not that important. 5,000. 5,000. That means 5,000 sellers didn't bother to take a look at the size. And it can really help your item get sold for a better price. And the other thing is it increases your sell-through rate. Why? Because you show up in more searches. The more searches that apply, right? Because I don't want to show up in a search. Like if somebody's searching for a woman's purse, I don't want my stuffed animal to show up, right? It's like, it's not a woman's purse, right? So again, you want to show up in the right. But if I'm searching for a small teddy, I want to show up in the small teddy searches. But if it's a jumbo teddy, I want to be showing up in the jumbo teddy searches. Why? Because then I get more customer eyeballs on my item. More customer eyeballs means more sales, and it means an increased sell-through rate, which is what I'm after. Okay, so yes, list, it increases your sales, but take a look at those item specifics. And sometimes you might think like, but if I know the answer, that's another filter I can show up, right? So it says personalized. And I'm thinking, why would somebody personalize this? Somebody must, somebody might, whatever. eBay wants to know. If I know the answer, I fill it in. Okay. It's about better search results for your items, showing up in more filters. More searches means more customers. And I've got a free tip sheet for you about eBay search. And eBay search is how your items show to the shoppers, both on desktop and on your phone. So you're going to hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com. And what you're going to look for is Dominate eBay Search. It is a completely free guide that I've written for you. And it gives you tips, and they work with and without a store. So grab it. It gives you tips how to create the listings so that your listings show well in eBay search and attract more shoppers. Hi, Pam. Pam saying, I measure everything, but when the filter is the size of the object, my idea and small of yours are not exactly the same. Yes, Pam, when it's not clear, absolutely. But with the plush bear, they were giving you the dimensions. So hang on, because I had it here. So with the plush bear, they were saying mini under 6 inches. They're telling you. But yes, very good point. If you do not know, don't guess. It's like fabric content. If I don't know if it's rayon or cotton, I don't guess. But on the teddy, they were giving me the dimension. Under 6 inches for mini. Let me just go back and read it. Small was 6 to 14 inches, medium 14 to 24, on and on. So when eBay defines its terms, yes. If they don't, very good point, Pam. Don't guess. Because then you're opening yourself up for an item not as described return from a disgruntled buyer. And we don't want that. We want happy buyers. But anytime with those searches that you know the answer, fill it in. And particularly something for toys, right? The size matters. Again, it's a collector. They're replacing something that's lost. You want to make sure you show up in those searches. So use that. 5,000 people didn't fill it in. And all I got to do is pull out a tape measure to do it. So hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab your free guide, Dominate eBay Search. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling.